can we expect to find life on Mars? Some say that the search for life on Mars should not be focused exclusively on the distant past. 4 billion years ago, the Martian surface was apparently quite habitable, featuring rivers, lakes, and even a deep ocean. Indeed, some astrobiologists view ancient Mars as an even better cradle for life than Earth was. And they suspect that life on our planet may have come here long ago aboard Mars rocks blasted into space by a powerful impact. Things changed when Mars lost its global magnetic field. Charged particles streaming from the sun were then free to strip away the once thick Martian atmosphere. Observations by NASA's MAVEN orbiter suggest that the process had transformed Mars into the cold, dry world we know today by about 3.7 billion years ago. But this turn of events doesn't necessarily mean that Mars is a dead planet today. If Mars had life 4 billion years ago, Mars still has life. Nothing has happened on Mars that would have wiped out life, said Michael Finney, co-founder of Genome Partnership, a nonprofit organization that runs the Advances in Genome Biology and Technology conferences. So if there were life on Mars, it may have moved around, it may have gone into hiding a bit, but it's probably still there, Finney said during a panel discussion at the Breakthrough Discuss conference at the University of California, Berkeley. One of the most promising hiding places is the Martian underground. Though the red planet's surface has no liquid water these days, apart possibly from temporary flows on warm slopes, there's likely lots of wet stuff in buried aquifers. For example, observations by Europe's Mars Express orbiter suggest that a big lake may lurk beneath the red planet's south pole. Earth's diverse residents advertise their presence in a dramatic and obvious way. An advanced alien civilization could probably figure it out pretty quickly just by scanning our atmosphere that our planet is inhabited. We don't see any such clear-cut evidence in the Martian air, but scientists have spotted some intriguing hints recently. For example, NASA's Curiosity rover has rolled through 2 plumes of methane inside the 96 miles or 154 kilometer wide Gale crater, which the 6-wheeled robot has been exploring since its 2012 touchdown. The rover mission also determined that baseline methane concentration in Gale's air go through cycles seasonally. More than 90% of Earth's atmospheric methane is produced by microbes and other organisms. So it's possible the gas is a signature of modern life, but the jury is most definitely still out on that. Abiotic processes can generate methane too. The reaction of hot water with certain types of rock is one example. And even if the Mars methane is biogenic, the creatures that created it could be long dead. Scientists think the red planet methane plumes leaked out from underground, and there's no telling how long the gas lay trapped down there before making its way to the surface. NASA's 2020 Mars rover, also known as the Perseverance rover, which has recently landed on Mars, will hunt for signs of long-dead red planet life. The rover was sent to Mars for the sole purpose of finding ancient life and bringing the samples back to Earth, which alone will be a huge feat of engineering by the NASA scientist. But some researchers are pushing to expand the hunt to find Martian life. One of them is molecular biologist Gary Ruvkun, who's based at Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School. Ruvkun is one of the 3 principal investigators on the Search for Extraterrestrial Genomes, or SETG project, which is developing an instrument to detect past or present DNA or RNA-based life on Mars and other alien worlds. Discuss panel with Finney and several other researchers, and he also gave a talk at the conference laying out the case for putting the SETG instrument on future Mars rovers and other robotic explorers. Part of that case centers on panspermia, the idea that life has spread widely throughout the solar system and perhaps the galaxy by either natural or artificial means. The idea explains that if life did indeed come to Earth from somewhere else, there's a good chance it once flourished on Mars as well. The red planet could have been the source, or it may have been seeded as Earth was. Ruvkun views panspermia as very likely. During his Breakthrough Discuss talk, he described himself as a religious fanatic about the idea, He cited as supporting evidence the very early emergence of ATP synthase, the enzyme that makes the energy storage molecule adenosine triphosphate. ATP synthase goes all the way back to the base of the tree of life on Earth, meaning this intricate and complex molecule was up and running about 4 billion years ago. If panspermia is indeed a thing, then any life forms we find on Mars or anywhere else in the solar system will likely be related to us. Ruvkun and others have reasoned. That is, such organisms will use DNA or RNA as their genetic molecule. So we should go on a hunt for this stuff. It seems really idiotic to not go look for DNA on Mars. It's an experiment definitely worth doing. Mars isn't the only place in our solar system where alien life might flourish today. Indeed, most astrobiologists would put the red planet down on the list a bit just behind the Jupiter moon Europa and the Saturn satellites, Enceladus and Titan. Europa and Enceladus harbor deep oceans of salty liquid water beneath their icy shells. Titan is thought to have a buried water ocean as well, and it also sports lakes and seas of liquid hydrocarbons on its surface. Even the hellish Venus, a climate change cautionary tale for Earth, might still harbor some habitable redoubts, scientists say. Like Mars, Venus once had plentiful surface water, but what is so apparently common throughout the galaxy, a runaway greenhouse effect, baked the stuff away and left the planet with surface temperatures high enough to melt lead. However, conditions appear to be pretty clear about 30 miles or 50 kilometers above Venus's surface. Penny Boston, director of NASA Astrobiology Institute at the agency's Ames Research Center in California, said she thinks the chances of modern-day Venus life are pretty low because of the dewatering of the planet. Next up, let us discuss how would SpaceX make rocket fuel on Mars? Well, you know what? That actually sounds like a different video we should discuss here on Discover Zen. If you like what you watched today, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. If you want to see more, leave a comment and let us know what you want to see. Have a good day.